I'm going to talk about what I consider to be the inherent problem in making organizations effective. And that'll just be kind of a quick intro. I'm assuming you all know that our goal is trying to be more effective, what we call business agility, the quick realization of value to the customer, sustainably, predictably, and with high quality. But after we look at what our inherent problem is, there are other challenges with this as well. Things are complicated and complex, and what that means. And at DA, we take a different angle than what a lot of people in the Agile community do of complex and you can't figure certain things out. And it's not unique to us. Actually, for myself, I'd been working on this since about, I guess since I started working on the DAVSC. Its roots go back to 2005, where I watched a lot of really good net objectives consultants, plus other good consultants I knew, just going to the Agile Alliance conferences and chatting with people, talking to practitioners, a lot of really smart people out there who got things to work and asked why. And the DAVSC is a collection of that. So even though it's just kind of new, having come out this year, its roots go back to 2005. And I've always taken a different approach to what you do in knowledge work. So this is not a generic complexity talk. It's specific to creating value for customers. I just call it knowledge work, product, services, etc. So then we're going to go through this other way. A lot of it's based on Ellie Goldrat's work in The Choice. Everybody knows him for The Goal. The Choice is actually, I think, a comparably good book. I highly recommend it. It talks a lot about critical thinking and what I'll be presenting today. I've been working, I'd kind of got there about 90%, but I kept trying to get all the way there and I couldn't. And then I read this book and I said, oh my God, here it is. So I'm going to be talking about him as well. Okay, so let's moving forward. Let's understand what I consider to be our inherent problem. And I'm not alone in this. A lot of things are kind of unique to, say, the DAVSC when you compare it to other Agile at Scale programs, but most of these ideas have originated outside of PMI or net objectives. I'm just a good integrator of things. So our common organizational structure is kind of like in these silos. This is not unusual. We've seen this. And it's interesting to know when you're organized like this, you just naturally look to see if people are properly utilized, being productive, doing quality work, etc., working on the right things. And you'd say, well, of course. But notice our focus is then on the people. But in fact, the nature of our work kind of runs across the organization and not quite this linear path either. And, it's not really just one thing going through. There's a whole bunch of things going through. So when you're focusing in these silos, you have these product managers, and just regular managers in conflict with each other, and they get who does what and all that. And the bottom line, our inherent problem then, is that we manage our work this way, but our workflow is this way. And this is a real issue. And to solve this, we've got to put our attention to managing the value stream. In fact, most people don't do this. Now, there is starting to become a certain attention to it. Like I know SAFe talks about value streams now. Actually, they kind of change things a little bit, which I think is to the detriment of people using them, but at least they're talking about them, which is good. But if you are using SAFe, you have to know about where the value stream is. It's not at all clear in the big picture. We think you need to shift it directly to the value stream. Typically, no one's managing this. They're busy managing the people, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because Agile is about not managing the people. It's not about letting them run free, perhaps, but it's about creating an environment within which they can work and letting them self-organize. So we want to actually be managing the flow of work and creating it so we can help people work together. And this is basically the value stream. So we're going to focus on the value stream, not because people aren't important, but exactly because they are important and we trust them. And if we create an environment within which they can work better together, good things happen. So the definition of a value stream, you've kind of shown it, but just to be clear, it's basically the set of actions that take place to add value from initial request through realization of value by the customer. It's not concept to cash. I hear that phrase a lot. You can get paid, but if they don't get value, that's not a good thing. It's when they get realized. And in fact, when you think about it that way, you start realizing, oh, I need to think about support. I need to think about the operational value stream of the customer and how they're using it. So it's really realization of value. Always begins and ends with a customer. The customer can, of course, be internal or external. And we want to focus on the work, not the people. Now, there are people in the value stream, but we want to be looking at the work itself. Okay. So here's an interesting question. How often does work wait? Now, be clear. Remember, I'm focusing on the work, not on the people. See, if I look at the people, they're busy. I have yet to be at a company where people aren't busy. Most of them, anyway. You might find a couple of people sloughing off, but mostly people are pretty hectic even. But if you look at the work isn't hectic. It's waiting most of the time. You get something done, it goes to somebody, they need somebody else's help, it waits, goes to somebody, that person's not busy themselves. So what you start noticing is that work is waiting, even if people aren't. And then this brings up the obvious question, how much of the time is it moving forward? How much of the time is it waiting? And how would you know? Because most tools measure how much people have worked on something, not the work itself. So this is the first big shift in complex systems, is focus on the right thing to begin with. Now, this is kind of high level and all that. I'm going to get into a lot more detail, maybe more than you want me to, but I will. Anyway, okay. So value stream management tells us first to attend to the value stream, okay, to increase flow. This decreases time to market. If we cut out delays, see, remember the work's going through and it's delayed and all that. Well, if we cut out those delays, then we get to the marketplace a lot faster than we would have otherwise. So that's a good thing. It also turns out that cutting out these delays has a side effect of lowering wasted efforts. It's often delays. It's delays in the workflow that cause problems, like delay from getting feedback and seeing there's something wrong or using old requirements. So when you attend to the value stream, you decrease time to market, but just as important, maybe more importantly, is you lower wasted efforts and rework. So this is one of the reasons we want to be doing this. The objective, again, is because we want to realize highest business value in a shorter amount of time, consistently, sustainably, and with high quality. Okay. We also want to increase business agility, or increasing business agility requires looking at the entire value stream, not just the teams. That's been kind of one of the, I think, myths of Agile, is you always start at the team. Well, it's easy to start at the team, but that may not be where your problem is. In many organizations I've seen, it's that teams are overloaded, that they're improperly formed. They don't know how to work together well, and there's no real good portfolio, product management, and budgeting is problematic. So we want to look at how everything is working together. And we do want to look at the big picture. Not that teams aren't important, but they're just a piece of the puzzle, okay? We want to work in small business delivery increments so we can basically enable changing directions or pivoting. And we want to lower risk, because by creating a good environment, people can get work done better. Okay, so what's the problem? That's all motherhood and apple pie, as we say in the United States. But
hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time, and best wishes for your continued success.